Maybe. Okay. Hey, everyone. Sorry, it looks like I had that on mute. But yeah. So hey, everyone, and welcome to my live stream. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I felt like maybe it was time. Uh, that plus, I figured maybe it would be a good way to uh tell you all about the 90s con, because I didn't really get much footage. uh I don't think I need these. uh Sorry, but yeah, so I didn't really get much footage of the 90s con like I wanted to. That being, I ended up having a bag that I needed to carry around the entire time, and it made it very difficult to uh you know do much of anything. It was my luggage, and since I was only staying one night, I had nowhere else to put it, and it was terrible. So is this lighting, so I apologize for that, but I'm still figuring out how to do, like, live streams like this with better camera and lighting. I'll figure it out eventually, but this is what it's gonna be for now. So so I didn't really get much, uh, filmed or anything. And the panels, they were trying not to have people film, which is fine. I understand that. People want to be able to say things without it, going all over the internet and being interpreted wrong. So I do understand that logic, but sometimes it's fun to get little snippets here and there. I know other panels do it. I've done it with the um Boston Comic Con or Boston Fan Expo. I still call it Boston Comic Con, but it's Boston Fan Expo is what it is. It's Boston Fan Expo, and I should start calling it that. But anyways, um, I'm probably going to be saying a lot. I'm sorry. Yeah. So the 90s con was amazing. It was really well done. They had everything like themed and decked out. I was thoroughly impressed with what lengths they went to to do this. I mean, they had a DeLorean there. They had a the orange couch that you could um, get to. I mean, the orange couch that was on Nickelodeon. They had a slime machine. They had different puppets from different shows and movies, like from Monsters Inc. It was fully amazing. Um, so it was just, I wish I was able to take more photos than I actually did, because some of the things that they had there was just fantastic. But there was lines for like everything, and I was trying to get to see as many people as I could. So, so I'm first gonna get into everyone that I got to see and all that, and then if you do have any questions about anything you want me to talk about, I will definitely, put them in the chat, and I will definitely talk about them afterwards. But I'm just gonna go through 90s Con real quick, and then we'll get to other things, okay? So one of the main reasons why I went to 90s Con is because of Brian Krause and Holly Marie Combs, who were there, and like Charmed is my all-time favorite show. That and One Tree Hill, both all-time my favorite shows. So to be able to go and meet Holly Marie Combs and Brian Krause was like one of the things that I wanted to do, I needed to do, and it happened. So I was able to meet them. I do have solo photos with each of them. I don't know if you can see very well, but yeah, photos with each of them. But I have my photo with Holly hanging up right now, so I didn't want to take it down. But I did have my solo with Brian. I did, I love the face he's making. It's such an interesting face. And then the other thing that I was doing when I went to 90s Con was finally, nearly finishing off my, Boy Meets World cast. I've met the majority of the Boy Meets World main cast with the exception of Rachel now. The actress who plays Rachel is the only one that I have not met, um, but or the mo or the parents or Morgans. Those are the only people that I haven't met, but, like, I've met Ben Savage, I've met Ryder Strong, Danielle Fishel, Will Friedle, and even William Daniels. So they all came to Boston Comic Con or Boston Fan Expo before the whole pandemic. So I was able to meet them, which was a blast. So I was able to meet Matthew Lawrence, who played oh my god. I'm always blanking on his name. Jack. Yeah, Jack. Sean's brother Jack. So we got so I finally got to meet him. And then Trina, who played Angela, so I got to meet her. Oh, she was a sweetie, adorable. And even though I already met Will, he was doing a photo op with Christy Carlson Romano because they did Kim Possible in the early 2000s. So I got one with them so I could get a photo with her because I really wanted to meet her. Um, Sorry, I'm putting them off to the side. And then another person I got to meet was Melissa Joan Hart. You know, I adored her in Sabrina and Melissa and Joey. And going to Melissa and Joey, I did get to meet Joey Lawrence. All the Lawrence brothers were there. I just did not do Andy, but I did do Matt and Joey. Matt because of Boy Meets World, and Joey just because he was Joey. So I got to meet them. But yeah, I loved Melissa and Joey. It was such a good series. I still watch Sabrina to this day. Like I still enjoy Sabrina. Then some of the oh my god, my brain stopped working there for a second. Some of the Full House and Fuller House cast was there. It was Andrea Barbara, Dave Coulier, I think I said his name right, and Steve Wagner. I'm probably pronouncing all these, and then Candace Cameron Bure, but I did not meet her. Her line and like the Full House people, oh, it was insane how many people were there to get a Full House photo op. But um, so I got Andrea. Yeah, so I got Andrea Barbara, Kimmy Gibbler. Oh my god, I'm blanking on names. Scott, who played boyfriend Steve. He also is Aladdin, the voice of Aladdin, so I had to do that too for my childhood because I Aladdin's one of my favorite Disney movies. That and Cinderella, but Aladdin is one of my favorite Disney. And then we got Dave. And then because my friend wanted a autograph from her, I just decided to get a photo with her as well. Miss Nev Campbell from The Craft and from the Scream franchise. She is just so adorable. And when I was getting her autograph, I felt so bad because she's like, "So, do you have a favorite line from Scream?" And I was like, "I've never actually seen them." She's like, "Oh." She's like, "Do you get scared easily?" I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, "Ah, yeah, me too." Like, I feel like I should watch the Scream series because I feel like it's not even that scary. But maybe one day. Uh, and then I got to meet Scott Wolf, but so he's from Party of Five. He was also in The Night Shift. He's currently in Nancy Drew. He's been in Everwood. So he's been in quite a few things. And the other person that I wanted to meet more than anything after they were announced was Mr. Kel Mitchell. Oh my god, I love Keenan and Kel. And when it came to who I like better, it was definitely Kel. Kel was my favorite always. Um, And he was also selling, like, orange sodas, which was so adorable. I loved it. And then and the last person on my list was Mr. AJ McLean from Backstreet Boys. I had to get him. He was there. Joey Fatone was there too, along with Nick Carter, but I was not going to go and see Nick Carter. And I've already met Joey Fatone, so I met him in Rhode Island, so I didn't want to see him again. Uh, but also, he was only there for one day because Friday he got stuck and wasn't able to come in. So Friday would have, I mean, when I, excuse me, sorry. So Sunday was like so crazy for everyone who wanted to see Joey Fatone. So I'm glad I made that choice not to see him again. But, and one last thing about the 90s con is that I was able to get my Charm DVD signed. I already had it signed by Greg Vaughn, who plays Dan in season 2, but now I have Leo and Piper, Brian Kraust, and Holly Marie Combs. All I need now is Alyssa and Shannon and Dorian, and I have them all. But we'll see. So all right. Uh, Back to the Future movies were mostly 80s. One was 85, 89, and 3 only released in 90s. Really? Huh. I did not know that. Yeah, see, I've never seen the Back to the Future ones, but they had Christopher Lloyd there and um, Leah Leah Thompson. I couldn't remember her name to save my life. But yeah, so they had Christopher Lloyd and Leah Thompson there for Back to the Future, and they actually could actually get photos with the DeLorean. So maybe because the last one was released in 1990s, they considered it a 90s film. But I did not go and see him. Oh, but thank you for that information because I did not know that. I figured the Back to the Future franchise was a little bit later than it was, but I've sometimes I think movies. I'm always wrong. Uh, but I know the only thing I really know about the Back to the Future is the stars, and the fact that there's a DeLorean. So, and have you ever watched Lost or The Expense? I have never watched The Expense. I've never actually fully watched Lost, but I have seen like clips and episodes here and there. I've never watched like a full episode, with the exception of I think maybe like the very first episode. But other than that, no, not really. Uh, I don't know what The Expense is. I don't think I've heard of that one. Uh, and hello, Felicia. Uh, Thank you for being a subscriber and joining my chat. And thank you, the English Super Move. And I may be pronouncing that wrong. I apologize, but thank you. Uh, yes, Charmed is my favorite show, and to get that signed and to meet them was the best thing ever. I am so happy. And I just heard that Alyssa Milano is going to be in Paris for a convention, I think. So kind of makes me hope that maybe she'll start doing conventions, but I'm also slightly worried about what her pricing will be. Because, I mean, some of the bigger name people, their pricing for like autographs and photos go up. Like Zachary Levy, when Levy, Levi, that I oh my god, my brain is forgetting how to pronounce people's names, but, yeah, so when he was in Boston for Boston Fan Expo he was, like, between 80 and $120 for, uh, an autograph and a photo with him, so it all depends on who they are. So, alright, so The Expanse is the most awesome sci-fi show on television. They base the science in the show on real science, so it's more realistic than shows like Star Wars or Star Trek. It's 6 seasons long. Um, I'll have to check it out. I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I do like Star Trek. I kinda grew up on Next Generation of Star Trek, but I don't think I've heard of that one, so I'll have to look at it and look into it, and it's 6 seasons long, so, yeah. I mean, I actually kinda like shows, that last longer than 3 seasons. It's always fun to kinda, like, get into longer, shows, and they're also based off books? Okay, I'll take a look at it. Um, Vincent, yes, I do react to Vampire Diaries currently. Right now. I also do the 100, um, Superman and Lois, and The Flash. I have seen The Breakfast Club, and I do love it. I have seen The Breakfast Club. Um, I have not seen any other John Hughes movies. Like, I haven't seen Pretty in Pink, Say Anything, but I have seen The Breakfast Club. And yeah, sometimes it feels like the '90s had some nice, not the '90s, but the '80s had some nice romantic movies. Oh, so I also saw, yes, I stupidly decided to before I actually started really getting into YouTube, I went and I binged watched Supernatural, which I probably should have, you know, did reaction videos to Supernatural too, but I ended up doing those for the newer episodes. And now I've seen all of them. Though I do enjoy going back, and I need to go back and rewatch some Supernatural episodes for sure. Uh, and Vincent, I try to. When I can, I try to reply. And yes, Supernatural is 15 seasons long. It officially beat out the, what was it? Smallville for the longest running CW show, because Smallville was currently the longest running, and now it is Supernatural. Yep, started in 2005 and ended in 2015. No, 2000, sorry, 2020. Though technically it ended a year later, because of the pandemic, but yeah. Lost is one of those ones that I kind of wanna get into, that I was thinking of maybe doing reactions to at one point. I haven't figured it out because again, that's another show that I have not really seen. And yes, Breakfast Club is iconic, very iconic. Um, I was in, like, 2 different film classes where we had to where we ended up doing scenes from The Breakfast Club, like, creating them and filming them, and that was really kind of fun. Uh, Goes, "Emma, hi. Democrat Debbie, hello. Thank you for joining. Uh, Democrat, would you risk your life by getting in a plane with a female pilot? I'm not sure about that question. If the pilot is trained and, certified, then yes, I would get in a plane with a female pilot because that's their job is to be a pilot. I'm a little confused by that question, but moving on. Emma, have you ever watched Game of Thrones? No. I have seen scenes of Game of Thrones, but I have never actually watched Game of Thrones, and I'm not sure I would. Um, yeah, because I know so many people like die throughout the series, and I think I've mentioned it in my one my reactions to the 100 about how it's like you can't really get you can't really get used to a character or favorite a character because I feel like in Game of Thrones, like they just die at some point. Uh, they're just they just die. So that's kind of what I'm afraid of with Game of Thrones. Plus, I know there's like a lot of gore, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. So that may also be why I don't watch it. But I do know that, it's everyone loves it with the exception of the finale. So, but yeah, I have never actually seen a full episode. I have seen scenes here and there, but I've never seen an actual full episode of Game of Thrones. So it's supernatural. Boy, it's good. So scary. Oh yeah. So when Supernatural first aired, it scared the crap out of me. Uh so I didn't ever watched it. And then I watched like one episode because James Marston and Marsters. Yeah, James Marsters and Charisma Carpenter were in it. And I noticed that there was a change, but I still didn't watch it because I'm still like, okay, this is just a one-off episode, but it's still really scary. Uh, and then like is it 2018, I started getting into something and started watching like videos of cons and stuff like that. And I ended up also watching like the parody videos that the Hillywood did, and it kinda got me wanting to watch the series, so then I ended up binging the series within, like, a month and a half, before the new season 13 aired. Yeah, before season 13 aired, and I was like, "Wait, this is actually really good." So, yeah, so, like, the first 3 seasons or first 3 seasons are kind of, like, dark and a little bit scary, but then it's just, like, they start to get a lot better. Um, and I really like that. It's good humor and it's a fun show. Justin and Jared really kind of play off each other well, and then when you add Misha into it, it's fantastic. Though I probably shouldn't be saying too much in case, you haven't seen much. I don't wanna spoil anything. Um, and Let's go. Tissues. If you watch all of Lost, and then I saw you say something about with Lost, just because people die in it, they do tons of flashback to include them again. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I know there are certain people who die on Lost. Um, that's another like type of thing that I know. Um, because they were, like, iconic and people were upset about them. I I also forget that Ian was in Lost. I forget that he was in Lost. I always forget that. So then whenever it's mentioned that he's in Lost, I'm always like, "Oh, yeah, that's right. Ian was in Lost." But yeah, so there's, like, characters that I know that do die and but, um so I'm prepared so I know that that does happen, and, I feel like I know how it ends because that was another thing that was, like, written about and people were so upset about the ending, so I like, it's not to say that I would be spoiled by the ending, but, like, I think it would be more of a I kind of have an idea, but, um, I wouldn't want to what am I saying? I don't know. Um My brain just stopped working, sorry. Yeah, so I wouldn't want to, like, go back and actually read all about it. I'd rather see for myself to, like, see how it went, but there are certain things that I do know about Lost because, again, articles going on and things, and I remember watching one episode, and I think it might have been a flashback, and the way that I had seen it, it confused the crap out of me. So it might have been a flashback, and it might have been like why it was so confusing to me. So that's good to know that they do flashbacks because I do like when shows do flashbacks. Let's go back. And to answer your question, Vincent, sorry, I'm going through the comments, so I apologize. No, I've never watched Hero Academia. I'm not a big anime fan, so Um, the Shawshank Redemption, best films of all time, I reckon. I have seen Cruel Intentions. I do love it. I've also seen Shawshank Redemption. Um, I love Shawshank Redemption. That is one of the ones that we watch in my house. We have it on DVD, and every single time it's on, we watch it. Uh, it's so good. And Cruel Intentions, I love. I haven't watched it in a while, but I also it just dawned on me. Now, mind you, I have seen both Cruel Intentions and I Know What You Did Last Summer, and it just dawned on me that both Sarah Michelle Gellar and Ryan Phillippe are working together on both movies. I don't know why it never dawned on me before, but it just did. I was like, "Oh, wait, they work together on both movies together." I mean, I probably knew that a long time ago, but for some odd reason, it was just like a aha moment. Like, I don't know, my brain. I I I lose my mind sometimes. In the last in '90s, I was hooked on Seinfeld and Friends. Friends, I love. I have never. No, I've watched a couple episodes of Seinfeld, and I can't get the humor. It's the same way for me in The Office. I don't know. It's just me and that humor, I don't know, but I love Friends. Friends is iconic. Um, Game of Thrones is amazing even with the mhm. So, maybe I'll check out Game of Thrones, but, not anytime soon. I've got quite a few shows that I'm already watching, and if I do check it out, it might not be like a series on here. Never watched Saved by the Bell. Love Boy Meets World. Watched Girl Meets World just because I loved Boy Meets World, so had to watch the spinoff. Um, I've never watched Thundercats or Dragon Ball Z, um, but I do know about Dragon Ball Z. Not much, but uh, thanks. I would love. Oh no, no, I hated that episode. Um, I refuse to say that name and repeat it at any point. Uh, and the Wendigo. Oh my gosh, that episode drives me crazy. Not because of anything in particular, besides the name, because as coming from a Charm fan, when the first season has an episode that's called Wendigo, and then you have Supernatural that has a Wendigo, I stupidly always say Wendigo instead of Wendigo. So I always screw that up. So that's why it drives me crazy, just because of the titles. But they're all great, but especially those. Kind of same vibe as Buffy. Oh my god, I love Buffy. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That is Buffy and Angel. I loved. I've watched Buffy way too many times to count, especially like the later seasons. Um, Musical episode, I that is my favorite episode of all time of Buffy, uh, and I know all the songs. Yes, I do. I mean, if you don't know all the songs, what's the point of the musical? But anyways, yeah. But also, Buffy and Angel is one show that I wish I could forget so I could rewatch it and re-enjoy it. But there's also like a bunch of things throughout the series that I'm kind of realizing going like, wait, that seems off. Like one of them is how Xander is becoming very problematic. It's like as I watch it, I'm going, wow, he is a very problematic character. You know, so it's kind of crazy how it's like I adored his character and I loved him. I loved him and Anya. But the more I watch it, the more I'm just like, yeah, his character is a little problematic. so so it's interesting. But yeah, I really wish I could rewatch Buffy because I would enjoy doing that show, especially if I could do it as a reaction. That would be fun. Uh, Mary from Lord of the Rings. I have never seen Lord of the Rings. Uh, yeah, probably like some of these movies I've never seen, but yes, I do know Lily. Or is it Evangeline Lilly? I think that's her name. Yes, from The Wasp is in that. I know that. Um, I know a couple other people are too that I'm forgetting names, but yes, I do know that she's in Lost. Uh, even oh, really? Well, that's interesting. I did not. That's. I kind of like when they do that too, when villains are brought in, because you know. uh, I know first seasons are usually always like about getting to know the characters and kind of getting to know the plot. So it's kind of nice when they kind of flesh things out in season 2. Thing I hate about seasons 2 is that they tend to change things. So things that you knew in season 1 tend to change sometimes when it comes to season 2, which, it's always so much fun when you see that. Let's see. American Horror Story. I have not. I watched a couple episodes here and there, but I've never watched a full season. Uh, That is another one that kind of freaks me out. Um, I again, as I mentioned earlier, I'm very easily scared, so I'm not sure if American Horror Story would be something that I would watch, or if it would just freak me out because but I do know they have some interesting series and some interesting storylines, so, yeah. I don't know for show I actually really binged. I wish I could binge the 100 right now. That is the one bad thing about doing these reaction videos is not binging the show. Uh, Usually when I binge a show, I'm, like, watching a whole seasons in days, and, that's not good at all, but it's just, like, because I need to know what happens next, so it's nice and it's not all at the same time, but it's kinda hard when, you end on a certain point and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh god, I need to know what happens next," but you can't, so it's also kinda like watching it live, um, in a way too, but yeah, uh, but yeah, one of the first shows that I binged was not Supernatural, no, Smallville. I watched Smallville, and then I binged through Buffy and Angel, binged through Supernatural. I gotta binge through Charmed again. It's been a while since I've seen Charmed. Teep is my favorite character. What season is he from? Or what season is Tape from? Is that season 1? Or is that from Hero Academia? I'm not 100% sure. Sorry, Vincent. Oh, really? Wow. I did not expect something like that from Seinfeld. Uh, But I know the tagline for Seinfeld is "A show about nothing," so let's see, Saved by the Palace, Belzac is portrayed by the main guy, but there's so many reasons. Um, okay, where is Saved by the Bell Zach from? Are you talking about Saved by the Bell, Lost, or something else? Uh, yeah, Saved by the Bell is another one that I have not seen. Um, and they just did a reboot too. Yeah, that's right. Also, I have an epic called Supernatural was aired on the same channel with the WB as before. Yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now about Zach. Sorry. My brain didn't read that correctly. I thought you were talking about, someone from Saved by the Bell on another show was okay. I get it now. So Zach was supposed to be the good guy, but he wasn't really all that great of a guy. So it's kind of like how people see Lucas Scott on One Tree Hill, which I can see. uh, yeah, and yes, Charmed and Supernatural aired on the same show, WB. However, Supernatural was only on the WB for a one season before it was switched over to the CW. God, I miss the WB. WB had some great promos. They also had some great teen shows, but then they had to go and turn it into the CW, which I mean, they have created some good shows over the years, but and they have, made what is it? made profit with, like, the superhero series, so but I still I'm a WB girl. I love the WB, and I wish we could have it back. I mean, their promos, Watch the Frog, such a good commercial. And really, yeah, see, The Lord of the Rings is, like, what, 4 hours long or something like that? I have never watched it, and, m there's an actress that I like that's going to be on the series, that's coming out in September, and I'm like, "Do I watch it? Am I going to know what's happening?" Even though I think it's supposed to be like a prequel before The Ring was created or something like that, so who knows? Uh, okay, I thought Tape was from season 1, but I think his name is Tate. I think it's Tate, not Tape. Um, 100 I think is amazing with writing, unbelievable. One thing that stuck with me was the best thing that humans unbelievable can't break free from the circle of violence. See, okay. Well, I've only just finished season 1, but I can see what you mean. Because yeah, there is a lot of violence happening right now between, the 100 and the grounders, but, um, definitely interesting to see going forward what happens. But also some of these shows that I'm watching now, I'm like, "Why didn't I watch them when they aired?" I'm always, like, kicking myself going like, "Why didn't I watch this?" Uh, and also the 100 is kind of a scary message for the human race too. Uh, and yes, the CW does have such a bad reputation for mostly cheesy teenage shows. And, but I mean, like, theirs was a lot cheesier, whereas I think WB was a lot more wholesome cheese. There's a lot more wholesome teen dramas, whereas CW was more they were trying to be a little bit more edgy with their teen dramas, I think. And yeah, I can see the 100 being the breaking the innocent teenage image because this it is dark. It is pretty dark. I mean, they're what 40, 50 years into the future or something like or longer. I forget when they are. And I mean like the whole world has like had a nuclear bomb or explosion. They're all living in the sky and they only have enough air for so many people, so they have to kill people by putting them out in space. Like that is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But you also have to admire the mind of someone who can create something like this. I understand that it's like based off a book, which is like the big thing of TV series now is uh a good amount of them are now based off books. But you got to admire that, someone can come up with something like this and be uh you know, my brain. Wow. I'm sorry. But yeah, someone could come up with all this and it's just it's amazing. I'd be curious to know like how much of the book they followed and whether or not they, um they just completely went off path after once they, like, started the series. Like, is the book is the book called The 100 or is it called something else? I forget. Uh, but yeah, 98 years from when the bombs went off, the bombs in the show went off around 50s. Okay. So, yeah, so that's a lot longer than I said. That's yeah, that's crazy. And let's see, but yeah, the WB with the frog is so much more iconic. Yeah, it's like before I started getting into reaction videos, I wanted to do a video where I kind of showed old WB commercials and be like, "Do you remember when?" But I couldn't think of a good um way to go about it, so never happened, but I have all these. And Jenna Young, the books are currently different. Okay, well, that's good to know. Thank you for letting me know because I was curious about that because I've never heard of the books before. Whereas like the Vampire Diaries, I've heard of the books. I've read the first book. Um, and Honeyboy Curtis is saying the same thing. Actually, the 100 was given permission by the author to go ahead and make the show how they wanted to. They didn't follow the books except using some of the same characters and circumstances. Okay. So that's kind of interesting to know that, they didn't follow the book at all. And so, and also you kind of know from the start there that you don't have to, or you shouldn't be comparing the book and in the show. Oh, yeah, the book and the show, because I know some people who are like avid readers, they'll compare books and shows or books and movies and be like, that didn't happen. That's not right. So also it's kind of nice. So now they have the ability to go anywhere they want and not worry about destroying the integrity of the book. I like that. Okay. Well, thank you both for letting me know that because that was just one thing that I didn't know. And I never posed it in any of my questions. Okay, so we got Raven didn't exist. Raven and Jasper didn't exist. Well, I read in one of the facts that Jasper wasn't supposed to live past the first episode, but they decided to keep him anyways. And the grounder was a girl, not Lincoln. Oh, interesting. And Wells lived in the book. I wish Wells lived in the book. Ugh, I don't like Murphy. Murphy didn't need to happen. But the book series has 4 books, like Bellamy, Clark, and Wells are in the books, but instead of it was Clark, Bellamy, and Wells. Ooh, that's, uh that's an interesting love triangle there. But I liked Wells. I was so sad when he died. That devastated me. And Monty. I love Monty. Monty's adorable. But yeah, Murphy can go pound sand. I don't like Murphy. He's a terrible person. We'll see. I gave him a second chance. Actually, is that the think that's no, yeah, okay. The episode that I just posted last week, Murphy came back, and I gave him the second chance, and, yeah. So, I don't wanna spoil too much of my reaction for because I finished the like I said, I finished the 1st season, so, I have those 2 already filmed. I just haven't gotten to edit them yet, but yeah, no. Hopefully Murphy hopefully he will surprise me, but we'll see. Uh, yeah, that's true. Kana and Bellamy were unlikable at first. Bellamy, I wanted to smack so many times in the first couple of episodes, and Kane, I just wanted to stab. But yeah, um, Bellamy still has his moments. I do like him, but he still has his moments. Kane, yes, I have completely turned around on Kane. So okay, you got me there. Um, but right now in the first season, he's dead to me. Okay, he's dead to me. Okay, well, uh, I point out in my videos like I know certain characters and others I'm not 100% sure of because I so because since this aired already, like stories, articles that have happened, the spoilers that have come out, and of course I've had people um that I know like the show and talk about it. So I try not to pay attention. I try not to pay attention as much as I as much, but there are still certain things that I know. Like I'm still waiting to meet like Lexa. Is that her name? I'm still waiting to meet her because I knew she was the fan favorite, but um and then but yeah, the only people that I actually know about are Raven, Bellamy Clark, and Abby. Otherwise, I know nothing about any of the other characters. Um, I also thought Raven didn't show up until like the end, the middle of the. Um, yeah, so I didn't think Raven showed up until like the middle of the series for some odd reason. But so I was surprised to see her in the very like was it the second episode? Yeah, I think it was the second episode. So I was surprised to see her show up in the second episode. But I do like Lindsay Morgan, so yeah. I just my brain couldn't remember for a second if it was the second or third episode. But yeah, it was the second episode. Um so yeah, don't say too much. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know specifically. So I the most I know right now is what happens at the end of season 1. Like, I know nothing else. Nothing else. I don't even know how the series ends, which I am so happy about because I can go into it with a fresh eyes and fresh mind and not have to worry about any spoilers of that. So that makes me happy because other shows I kind of have gotten a little bit spoiled about the ending. Uh like I said with Lost, I kind of know what happens. Um When it comes to the Vampire Diaries and the originals, I think I know what happens, but I'm not 100% sure, and I'm trying to block it out of my mind so that way I can be like, "Nope, don't know what happened," so I can enjoy the series as is, so but if I do when I do get to series finale and it does happen the way I think I remember from different things, I'll be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that being said," type of thing, but no, I'm so happy that the 100, I don't know. I know barely anything with the exception of that, Bellamy and Clark is, like, the big ship, and that like I said, I did know that, like, Abby, Clark's mother, makes it to the ground, but other than that, like, so so it's fun. Not it That's one of the best things about not knowing things is it's really truly, you know well, thank you. I appreciate that, Buddy Boy Curtis, because I I am trying my hardest to stay away from spoilers. I used to eat up spoilers. I love them. I wanted them all the time, but now that I've been doing the reaction videos, I'm like, no spoilers, no nothing. I want nothing. um, and I've actually really been enjoying watching shows this way, without the spoilers or anything. There are a few spoilers I see here and there, like with on TV Line when they do like the questioning, where it's like spoilers, not really spoilers. Um, or if I see casting for the shows that I watch live, I see that type of spoiler. But um, and then the other one is the promotional photos, like those spoilers I'll see, but otherwise I try and stay away from anything that's like about the plot or anything that may give away future things. Um, so I'm trying so hard to stay away. And yeah, you didn't really spoil too much. You just said that he's important and and to give him a chance. Um but that really doesn't tell me much. Uh, it just tells me that he doesn't die anytime soon. Uh, so so we'll see, how he becomes important. So we'll just leave it at that. Uh, say the same thing about Bellamy. What can be said the same about Bellamy though? Because a lot's been said, and I'm not, but yeah. Um, or that Bellamy's important or Lexa, yeah, I have yet to meet her. Uh, but I know she's a fan favorite, and I know it kinda happens to her. I don't know how it happens, but I know it happens, and I know it pissed off a lot of fans. So, uh, that's like the one big spoiler that I know. Um oh, yes, yes. Um, which I remember watching it and being like, "How can any anyone like him? He's so unlikable." And then as the episodes went on, I was like, okay, well, there's wow, okay, he's a little different." You could really definitely see the more the season went on, that he was just kind of like masking his whole fear and that he was just putting on a front. And I really like that they showed that. So, but yeah, Bellamy's slowly growing. I'm slowly growing to like Bellamy, and I'm slowly growing to like Bellamy and Clark. They work together very well. So, however, the season 1 finale did kind of get ruined for me because, I know that Bellamy doesn't die, but that would have been, like, a great episode to watch. Just sitting there going like, "Holy crap, is Bellamy dead?" So, I'm very curious to know how he survived that. Very curious. Uh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about I try not to speak about my reactions before, uh, I post them. The fact that I know that Bellamy's still alive, that's how it got spoiled. I Not in the sense that, like, the whole episode got spoiled, it's just when it ended and you saw all the corpses, I you know Clark thinks they're Finn and Bellamy, but I know it's not Bellamy, and I can assume that it's not Finn. But I know it's not Bellamy because, again, he's not dead. I figured as much. I figured as much, you know? They don't tend to do this long-awaited, like, "Are they alive or aren't they?" type of thing with these CW shows. And most shows now, they don't do the long it's usually, like, resolved in the 1st episode or 2nd, but I'm very curious to know how he survived that how he got away. Um, but yeah, like I said, I try not to speak too much about my upcoming reactions until they posted because I don't want people thinking that they could, say too much because that's my fear is that if I say something, someone will start talking thinking that I know more than I actually do. So I try to stick to the episode that gets posted on my channel. But since I've already said that I've finished the season, that's why I'm talking about it. But I try not to. So we can talk about season 1, just nothing past that, okay? Season 2 is unbelievable. I'm actually so jealous that you can watch it and you don't know the ending. You wouldn't guess it in a million years, the ending. Okay, well, that's good to know. Uh, but yeah, for s well, it only just aired last year. No, not last year. Was it last year or the year before that? Was it two It was 2020, right, when the series ended? But, I don't remember any press about the finale or about the final season, really. It was only, like, commercials that I saw, and I didn't really pay much attention to them because I wasn't really watching, um, the series or really watching the CW at the time. Yeah, so that's how I managed not, to escape because CW doesn't really do a great job advertising their summer shows. So that's the only problem is the CW doesn't really do a good job promoting their summer shows. So if you're not like an avid fan and wanting to watch this, you would never have known it was on or when it was on. Like I'm not going to lie, when I saw for like the final season of the 100, I was like this show's still on? I thought this ended a while ago. Um but yeah, so it's like they do a terrible job for summer shows. And they're slowly starting to do that to Roswell, New Mexico, where they're just, like, not really giving it much promotion or anything. It's kind of sad. And I hope that whatever network or whatever place um or whatever ends up picking up the CW, I hope they do a hell of a lot better job of promoting their shows because they really did not do the best job with some of the shows. They did it more with like their new shows or the superhero shows. And sorry, I keep hitting my desk, which is what moves my monitor. And so, but uh okay, so one thing the CW, I mean, the 100 does do, though, I found funny is one person says a good line and later daps the same saying and uses it as if it said, change now more than ever. Like, really? Huh. My brain doesn't remember that, to be honest with you. Sydney. Was she the one? Was that who took the Exodus ship and like doomed the whole arc in Jaha? I like Jaha. Oh, really? I loved that moment where Cain said goodbye to his mother. Oh, that broke my heart. Okay, so yes, she was the ex-chancellor. Okay. There were articles about the finale, especially some. Yeah, see, I don't remember seeing any articles, but then again, I might not have been really paying much attention at that time. But I could be. So, but yeah, I don't remember seeing any real articles. Yeah, that was used. I can't say throughout the whole show yet because I've only watched, like I said, I'm only at the end of season 1. But yeah, they use that quite a bit in the end of season 1, the "May we meet again." I like that line. That's actually a really nice line. So, they okay. Well, I may take a break before watching season 2 because I have to finish The Boys, and, so I'm thinking about once I finish once I post the last episode of season 1 of the 100, start up with The Boys, finish those last 6 episodes, and then go back to, um, the 100. And then I'm not really sure where to go from there, but I'm like I'm debating maybe starting to do more because I also have like I want to share Teen Wolf with you now that I figured out how to do it. I'm still fighting for Dawson's Creek. That one pisses me off to no end. I want to share that one, but I there's a French network that will not let me share. I mean, it'll let me share that one, but it keeps claiming it and it won't let me fight the claim. But I can share it, I just can't share it with the world. Um, and so but then yeah, and then the new boys will show up and I'm like, that one's gonna be hard to do as well. I'm just trying to figure out how to show all things I want. Like my brain wants to do Monday Vampire Diaries and then when I get to the originals, do Tuesday as the originals. Um, and I know Superman and Lois and The Flash will end at some point, and I could probably do most other shows there. So I'm just there's so many shows that I just want to share with you all, and not enough time. I don't have enough time in the day or anything to do that. So I'm still trying to figure it out the best way to give you all the reactions, but I mean, I could just do like Mondays, Vampire Diaries, Tuesdays, The 100, Thursday, Friday, depending on when I can watch The Flash. I can do The Boys. I'm still figuring it out. Um, oh, they did have their baby. Aw. For some reason, I thought they were due in the summer, but oh, that's so sweet. So happy for them. And some reason I'm burnt out on superhero shows and oh my god, I love superhero shows for some odd reason. Um, I love the Marvel movies and I love the DC shows, but I do not like the DC movies. I feel DC does better with shows and Marvel does better with movies. Uh, but yeah, there's a lot of superhero movies and TV shows out there. It, they're capitalizing on something that, is really big. And I have a cat um fighting to get in. Hold on one sec. I apologize. I'm sorry. My cat was just banging at my door to get in. So overcapitalizing. Yes, they are. And now he wants my attention. He's now okay. This is my cat. He's sorry. Say hello. This is Felix. This is my cat. He's he likes to get into everything, but um so he's Tweety. I do not have birds, no. They're outside. And now he's yeah, this is what he does. So Ah, yes, Felix. Kinda like the wall clock. Felix the wall clock. Yeah, that's right. I forgot Sylvester was um a black and white cat. I forgot that. Thank you. I always okay, now he's licking my photos. I don't know what it is that he likes on those. That's so weird. Yes, he was. That much I know. I've never seen it, but I do know about it because my parents told me when I named my cat Felix, they told me about it. 'Cause I think the wall clock was based off that. Felix, or that Felix was based off the wall clock, one of the 2. Um, but yeah, sometimes he likes attention, so guess I'm gonna have to give him attention. So I may have to end this in a little bit to give him some attention. But is there anything else you all would like to talk about? Any other topics? And he's Oh yeah, I love the I remember those cartoons. Especially with those were the cartoons where they were always like, I thought I saw a putty cat. I did see a putty cat." Right? Or am I mixing those up? Oh, okay. And now he's left me. So, but, I will definitely look into it and check it out and see about it. Um, I can't guarantee that I will actually watch it, but, or at least not watch it yet. If I do watch it, it may be over the summer. But okay. So I'm going to say good night to you all. I enjoyed this. I would love to do more if you guys are interested. I can also do it on a different day if it works out better. Like I can do Mondays. I just did Sunday because I know that's one day I had free, and I thought maybe it's been a while since I've done a chat like this, and I just thought maybe it would be fun. We could chat, and I thank you all for joining. I Yes. So thank you. And yeah, next video will be posted on Monday at 2 p.m. And until next time. Bye guys.